The train trip saga is a story hidden from the eyes of those fortunate, which unfortunately is no longer you. It's a story of DLC women, time travel, horror, average hospital experience, avoiding the refund window harder than the Euphoric Brothers, and with 6 games, some of which genuinely absurd. It all starts here with Train Travel Simulator. Train games aren't just for the fans of ancient memes and insane camera angles. They're a metaphor for staying on track with life, to cruise from one milestone to another. Like other simulations, it's a hobby that you can nerd out about in the comfort of your home. But instead of being the driver, you're now the passenger, and this is the game. It all starts right on the platform, and after looking at a missing texture schedule, it appears that all trains go to the same location. Said location will be revealed shortly. Now, to get a little bit technical, there is weather in this game, and for some reason, difficulty settings, which I did put to the test. Kill me! That's exactly what happens when you die. After hopping on board, I found that inside the train itself, it didn't seem too bad, at least on the surface. There are other passengers here, some looking quite similar to each other. And besides the main carriage, there were some other rooms. What's in here? I love how they just straight up put like a house toilet in the train. At least it comes with a rubber duck. I guess that's for stress-related issues. Although I did notice a little bit of frame loss, and this becomes a bit of a trend, but thankfully they give you an FPS counter to see how bad it really is. Like, for example, this Russian flag decides to mine crypto every time you look at it. Anyway, look, there's no level of interaction here. The only thing you can do is sit down, and that's basically the point, which seems like a stupid concept, but a game like this has potential to include many twists and turns. However, as you'll see, the dev clearly didn't have much in mind, as I started to put 2 and 2 together, and then 2 and 2 turned to 3 and 3. Oh my god. No way, man. You can't do this. You actually can't do this. It's not... They've done... Yeah. It's all the same. It's literally all the... Hang on. Is it the same toilet? It's the same toilet. I don't think I need to make a comment about this. It's bad, but at least you can jump off the train, which I did. And that was a mistake. I want to go back. I can't go back. Yeah, that's it. All right, so I'm actually... Well, there we go. That's what happens when you jump off a train. I can do it. Open the door. I'm in. Oh! Okay, I'm back. No way, come on. I'm back in. Alright, I don't know what's going on, man, but if I press E, yeah. Yeah, nah, it was all a lie. It was all a lie. I've just got to go back. You know, the worst part about being stuck in the woods isn't that I couldn't get back on a train. Or it wasn't even the fact that I had to run all the way back to the station, even though I could have just restarted the game and got there a lot faster. No, it was the fact that I couldn't make it out of bounds. They actually put an invisible wall there to stop players from running off the map, which I guess at this level of dumpster diving is such a weird thing to experience. Anyway, when I got to the station, I hopped on the next train and just sat there waiting to make it to the next destination. And after waiting about 15 minutes, quite literally just scrolling my phone, the term surprised doesn't apply here. Wait, I think it's happening. Is it the same station? I wonder. We're just jumping off. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Just went round in a giant circle. You know what, man? I think that guy right there is exactly how I feel right now. Not happy. To be very clear, there are no other trains than this, so yes, you do basically just go around in circles. And with that realization, there was only one thing left for me to do, and that is to satiate myself, because for some reason this is a survival game, so of course to survive, I bought 25 vodka. Don't tell me this is it. Don't tell me this is the way I could do it. Nothing's changed. I forgot I probably am a Russian, so obviously nothing's gonna change, is it? So yeah, great. I'm not allowed to get drunk. Who the hell made this game? Well, this is one of those games made by one of those devs that you'll find on Steam with a question mark for a logo, and this one in particular is called Mono Vista. Now, apparently Train Travel Simulator wasn't really meant to be like this. There were some other features teased. Well, when I say that, I mean you could pick up a pizza That was teased. On their YouTube channel, you could see other stations, and they even had a post showing some kind of update that was about to come to improve what is essentially an alpha test. However, none of that quite happened, because as the reviews rightfully highlight, this game was abandoned for another Russian train trip. And this is where the rabbit hole brings us to a featureless hollow cave of pure shame. Not too featureless though, as this one starts you off in an apartment with the meme bear, some money, a fridge that's always open, and outside of the apartment is an area that's actually quite detailed. However, there's not really much to do or interact with, besides more didn't see shit bears, and surprisingly enough, this thing that I can't remember the name of but once got launched from as a kid. Probably explains why I can't remember most things, but to dwell on this particular thing, these were in Garten of Banban. They work here. Let that sink in. Now, thankfully, in this game, you can speak to NPCs like this woman standing just outside of your apartment who you'll definitely never see again. You've also got who I'd like to call the Vladimir twins on the platform, who are there to give you advice. What time is it now? You have a phone number, look at it. Ah yes, I'm going to check my phone number to see what time it is. Because I couldn't get drunk in the last game, my immediate thought turned to alcoholism. And what better way to spend child support than on 15 vodka? But here's the problem with that. You can't drink while satiated, a fact that I found out later. You also still can't get drunk. And because I spent all my money on alcohol, I didn't have enough to buy a ticket. What a nightmare my life has become. But at least I can save that nightmare, because I kid you not, this game is one of 2 out of all 6 games where you can save, of which I tested. This was the saving grace, if you would pardon the pun, because I discovered upon a new game that I had a ticket in my apartment. So I got on the train to see what was new. Can I speak? Nope. Have you seen my husband in a white jacket, blonde? He sits on the side seat, drinks with a buddy. Thank you. I'll talk to him now. Will she do it? Is she gonna do it? Let's go to the next carriage. There are no cuts here, so you can see that I'm not doing any funny business, alright? This is, look, it's the same thing. Again, it's almost crashed. There we go. It's Olga. Same situation. How do you do this? How do you literally copy and paste like this? Like, I understand how, but like, come on, you were so close. You put some effort in. It's just the same thing. Oh my god. Now, as we already know, this is what the dev abandoned the previous game for. With updates teased, this was essentially meant to be Train Travel 3.0 or something along those lines. This was a niche that, no matter how small, some people had hoped for. So there was trust, but that was clearly broken, and I kid you not, when someone called them out about it, asking what the difference between these two were, the dev straight up just said this: it's a completely different game. They don't need to be compared. You don't compare, for example, FIFA 20 and FIFA 21. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think using FIFA is really strengthening the point like they thought it would, but at least we now have some insight into the way the dev sees their product. That's new. That's new. There's something new. Hold on. Look. Oh my god. It's a place. Well, I've fallen off, so I might as well go check it out. Look at these invisible wall. Oh man, the best thing about this is that you could see the stock image is from Shutterstock. Look at that. They even give you like a hill to perch on top of just so you can admire the view. Wow. And let me guess, it's gonna be an invisible wall for this one, right? Oh, apparently there is. I can't go to the other tracks. Why would you do that? Why? This was the moment where I initially gave up. The thought of starting over sent my remaining brain cells into panic. So I quit. But don't you worry, I did come back, and I did manage to make it to the next station. In fact, I even beat the game. However, that's more relevant to share for the next immersive experience: Chinese train trip. Wow, welcome to China. Saddest thing about this is that I'm pretty sure they just couldn't be asked to put these kind of mechanics in, so they thought, ah, screw it, we'll put these machines here, but there'll be no prizes. Can't ride bikes, there are no people here. It's like a dead end, isn't it? Damn. I've got to be honest, this is a pretty sad, lifeless start. I thought China would be better than this, but clearly nobody has enough social credit to live here, so it's kind of barren. At least that's what I thought, till I saw one of the Vladimir twins and his brother's temporary replacement, Sang-yong. Of course, I forgot how to tell the time and was thankfully reminded just to use my phone number. Anyway, you can clearly see that it's basically the same platform, but a bit different. The train, however, is yellow this time, and what really amazed me was what was inside, because that's what counts. Rubber ducky, toilet. My god, same woman. Same. No way, man. You did not. Have you seen my husband? Yes, he sits in the seat. Oh god. This guy having the best dream of his life. It's the same it's the same people, man. Right. Oh god, it's all the same again. I've never How do people not refund this? It's taken me 5 minutes to explore all the content. Copy and pasting carriages is one thing, but using the exact same ones from the previous game and just painting the train yellow is comedy, if not inexcusable. The worst part about this though isn't even here, it's not even that, it's when you make it to the next station. Now, bear with me, I need to simplify this confusing process, so let me explain. The first train takes you here, and if you didn't already buy a ticket to Beijing, then you've got to go to the next platform to get one. With said ticket, for whatever reason, it says you need to walk there. Obviously that's not going to happen, but this is where things get a bit confusing. Because when speaking to an NPC, we ask how to get to Oral, not Beijing. And to get to this mysterious location, you've got to take the blue train. So I thought to myself, maybe this was just bonus content, another place to explore later. And with that thought, I stepped back on the yellow train, only to find myself 15 minutes later back to where I started. You're not stupid, I know you're not. I've got a good feeling that you may know where this is going. Oral, or Oil, is Beijing. The blue train takes you to Beijing. We finally did it. We finally arrived. Let's see what this new station is all about. I'm sure it's going to be interesting. Oh. Oh, it is. Okay. Oral Station. I've made it to Oral Station. Holy fuck. Oh no, what a blunder this is. I've confused the footage from Russian train trip with Chinese train trip. This here is in fact Beijing. Sorry for the confusion. Yeah, these stations are quite literally copy and pasted from the previous game. In fact, as you may have guessed, both games are pretty much the same. And the fact that they didn't change the dialogue in Chinese train trip goes to show that they didn't actually playtest this. I guess sitting there on duplicated carriages for 15 minutes isn't the devs' idea of fun. But with this game in particular, this marks the end of the FIFA era, because now we're moving on to the age of DLC women, and immediately the most insane refund dodge I've ever seen. What are we saying? Oh, we start on the train this time. Okay, you begin your journey in Vladivostok. It'll take you 2 hours and 20 minutes to get to Stolsby Station. Really? And I'm pretty damn sure that's going to be real time, isn't it? It is. It's real time. For 2 hours and 20 minutes, you can't even speak to anyone or go anywhere else. The only thing you can do is just sit down and watch the same repetitive scenery as you go around in a big circle. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the last games were much better. Because here's the thing. This game is the first to have DLC, and you can't even access that DLC until you get past the 2 hours and 20 minutes. Said DLC is the following: a beautiful girl in your place, VIP seat in the train car, fast time, posters of Steven Seagal's best friend, and donation. You can donate to this guy. While browsing the DLC, I noticed on the main store page that there were reviews from publications in Russia saying that this is a 10 out of 10, even though, just to confirm, none of these articles gave it any kind of rating. Apparently this game has also won awards. I think we're all smart enough here to know that these are real. I don't know if you can see, but I can't really see anything out there. I don't really see a station. It's almost... well, it's just gone 20 past. That was it. We didn't actually travel anywhere. We just went around in circles, and now, why am I small? What happened? Was I a child? I can't even, like, look how slow I could see my body in the last game. What happened here? Alright, standing time is 15 minutes! Train departure in 15 minutes. Oh my god. You know, waiting around for a little bit longer, that's part of the experience, but the scariest thing about this whole experience is that the save button doesn't work. You can't save the game. Imagine the game crashing just after loading into this station. 2 hours and 20 minutes of your life and no refund available, gone. If this isn't cruelty, then I don't know what is. I mean, the fact that the Fast Time DLC shows the same train that you start on, but you can't even activate it there yet, goes to show where the devs' true intentions lie. Even though in the description of that DLC, they do say that you can only use it after. But according to them, even though it's probably just in jest, it's for those who are lazy. I'm just gonna say it, man, within context, you really can't say that. Whoa! Oh shit, yeah, I got the fast DLC. Oh, how do I slow this down? Whoa, okay, buddy, calm. No, oh god. How do I turn this off? This is an image I never thought I'd see in my career, but you know what, man? Anything's possible at this point. So this is it. This is the train you spend most of your time on. The DLC woman, the NPCs, the posters that possessed my friend, and all the junk on the table, besides the radio, do nothing. When it comes to DLC, you're basically just paying for assets that should have been there in the first place. Either way, there are other stations to visit, and to be honest, they're about as good as you'd expect. Almost at Moscow, now we're at Moscow, yay! Is it going to be sped up time again? No. I visited Moscow. This is horrible. This is actually horrible. It's the same park area. They just put this... The people in the fucking screenshot. Oh god, man. It's like, you know, Streatham Hill, at least that had a Morley's. This is just... Oh my god. Trust me, things will get better. Because after this, they released Russian Train Trip 3. And this one hits different.
Еще одна бессонная ночь. Опять один в темной квартире. За окном не утихает ливень. Гроза бушует, как в моей душе.
Yeah, this one actually starts with a story, and it's kind of insane to hear voice acting coming from one of these games. Now, in summary, we basically get a letter from a girlfriend, and while feeling lonely, we get the night train to meet her. And thankfully, it doesn't take 2 hours and 20 minutes to get into because you start in an apartment again. And this one's actually not too bad. There are things to interact with. You can start by drinking beer from a fridge with a door that's always open. You can eat sunflower seeds, and you can even watch an entire movie. Well, I didn't test this 100%, but there is a movie here, and I'm pretty damn sure it contains more content than the game we're about to see. Anyway, after exploring the apartment a bit, I found a ticket, and this is where it all begins. There's a train station, empty platform, only rare lanterns light the way. It's cold, the wind blows through. So this is like a full-blown story now. It's the same kind of train station as before. So I guess we're playing the alpha before this? Yeah, it's the same train station. It'd be insane if this turned into like some horror. Not gonna lie, what the f— As I say it, it happens. Whoa! God damn. Oh, for fuck's sake, man, really? Like it's just a guy. I'm genuinely impressed that they managed to turn this into a horror game. I mean, the jump scares are crap, but obviously that didn't stop me from getting scared. Now, as you may recognize, this train is a familiar sight. But now, you can farm achievements by interacting with some things. And unfortunately, that's all there really is until you get to the final destination. Although with that being said, with a bit of time on my hands, I finally understood the potential for something like this. As I just laid back in my cabin, chilling to the sound of thunder in the background whilst watching that same film. But the question I have is it made better with DLC? Well, first off, if the walk to the carriage was a little bit too scary, you can buy a torch. Unfortunately, it doesn't really light up too much, and I really didn't find much use for it. If you're feeling a little bit lonely on the train, you can just buy people who you can't talk to and who just stare out of the window. But if you really want to spice things up, you can add more assets to your cabin. If you prefer to stay in your apartment, then why not buy more posters to brighten it up? Or even better, buy an old PC that definitely works. I bought this. This is a part of the DLC. This is a part of the DLC. Can you play it? No. Looks like no CSGO for me, and I can tell you why I can't play it, because nothing's plugged in. I just got the I've got a monitor, there's no, oh, there it is. Okay, biggest waste ever. Biggest waste ever. Well, there you go, that's another part of the DLC. My god, money well spent. The final DLC is a funny one because after all that, you can just pay to get to the destination. You can quite literally pay to win. And there you go, game over. You found your imaginary girlfriend. But this is where we can end the era of DLC women and just weird stuff. Because here we are, once again in the same apartment, but this time, I don't have a PC, and there are people outside. This is Trans-Siberian Legends, and after picking up my ticket, my backpack and suitcase, I was very pleasantly surprised. So I'm already there we go, I'm on the train already. No, I'm on a bus now. Oh wow. Okay. Character models have definitely changed a bit. This is what I'm talking about. This is all I wanted. Just to see the city a little bit, you know, just to actually sit down and see stuff. Like there's a person right there. There are people walking around. This is blowing my mind. You can really measure the amount of faith I have in a game or a developer when I point something out like NPCs walking in the street as some impressive achievement. That's an indication that I didn't really have too much faith to start off with. But this is great. They're actually giving us a journey to the station, and at the station, there are many more NPCs, and thankfully again, you can actually talk to some. Sorry, what happened? Why are you crying? My daughter is missing. I can't find her. Please help me. Don't worry, we will find your daughter. How does she look? She's small with brown hair. She was wearing a green t-shirt with a flower design. I mean, I've got to catch a train, but okay, I'll help. Oh, here she is. Is that her? That's her. Hey, wait, how do I speak to this? What do I do here? I found the child. So I found her. I'm guessing that I need to just go back and say that she's over here. I found her. I found her. I don't know what to do. I have no idea. She's over there. Honestly, I tried to get this quest to work, but it doesn't seem to be wired up. In fact, for all the NPCs there are, conversations still remain to be stationary and on repeat. Anyway, if the station didn't already seem familiar enough, the train is just the same as before, but this time, the outside has a decent view. Although I do have to say, unfortunately, I discovered later that we're just flying around in a big circle. If you look at the shadow of the train, you can't even see the tracks. And this will be the same scenery you see after each stop later. Bit. You drank someone else's beer and a passenger beat you up. You have serious injuries. The conductor drops you off at the nearest station so you can go to the hospital. Visit the hospital. What the hell? What? I'm amazed. Does this actually happen? I guess if I drank somebody's beer, they probably would beat me up, wouldn't they? Oh my god. Is he okay? Why are you just sitting there? He's clearly... he's screaming. Oh my god. I don't know how to handle this. I can't process this. What the hell, man? This is I'm in hell. Why is nobody helping her out? What the fuck, man? Jesus Christ. This was the experience I was looking for. Drinking somebody else's beer and ending up in hospital. That's the kind of content we need more of. Now, to leave this place, you need to speak to the doctor, and this is where I step back in amazement because you can actually call for a cab, and you have a choice between 3, with super economy having the most amount of profanity.
Нажимай тормоз, удержи, на DS переключай.
Ты чё, баклан в этой жизни или кто ты?
Да
нахуй,
все,
покажи?
давайте поедем, в общем, нормально сейчас доедем.
Так и не пизди нахуй.
Ёп.
Ты чё творишь, ёбаный твой рот,
Oh
ты,
man, things are gonna
блядь?
kick
Всего
off.
тихо, я сейчас...
I really shouldn't tell them that I'm English.
Охуенно.
I think the recorded on a phone effect works very well here. I was genuinely hoping that they wouldn't bring me into it, so I sat quiet, pretending not to be British. When I tried the other options, they were pretty chill. The same kind of path, but this is nice. More options is good. Now, when I got back on the train, I checked the timetable to see what the next destination would be, only to discover that there are DLC stations. So of course, I logged off and made the investment, including more posters and more DLC women. I know I said the era of DLC women was over, but whatever, man. Look, I found something way better. Alright, check this out, check this out. You can take pictures in this game. Oh, you can even zoom in. I took a picture and now I can see my picture. Look at this. I took a picture of people. That's cool. There are game mechanics here. Look at this. Look, I took a picture of this guy. Seems suspicious. Take a picture of this guy over here. Look at him. That guy right there. See that? Always watching. It's the same van. It's following me. Oh my god, it's Joe Biden. Wait a minute. You see? There's a guy right there. The next frame, he's gone. You see that? Nobody came on or got off. That guy is not real, man. I swear to God, some paranormal stuff going on here. I've got to be honest, I feel like the game was getting to me at this point, but you know what, this feature is really cool. I feel like this is needed for a travel game. There's something about taking pictures of random things and people that adds so much to the experience. And while I was having fun with this feature, the DLC destination kicked in. This is it, this is the new place. I've actually made it here, just had to wait 15 minutes IRL. Right, who can I speak to? Invisible wall, can't go there. Okay, question is, can I die? No. And I guess it just goes all the way around there, yeah. So there's not really much to see, it's just insert city. I go here? No. She's talking to somebody. As basic as it is, actually being able to visit towns for a bit before the next train is appreciated. And again, this is another thing that I feel is needed for a travel game, something that was completely missed in the last. Yet unfortunately, I started to notice something as I visited more and more towns. They're all the same. What a surprise. Not entirely, but they all basically have the same roads, the same reused, rearranged buildings. This also includes the DLC locations. Yes, maybe the stations might look a bit different, but you get the point. It's a real shame because the only level of interaction in these towns is just one person you can talk to who gives some history. But that's pretty much all there is to look forward to. So then, what else? Well, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can visit other carriages, and this time, they're different. Now, to do so, you need to speak to the conductor, and they tell you that they've lost a key, and you need to find the key to unlock the first carriage. To cut things short, for a good while, I just couldn't find the key anywhere. I was looking all around, speaking to everybody, checking under tables, I was trying everything. So I thought to myself, maybe somebody else had the same problem, and lo and behold, on the community tab, the dev tells you where to find the key. It's just here, on the windowsill. Anyway, with this key, we get access to a much more lively carriage. Hello, I'm your traveling companion on this long journey. Along the way, what? Are you saying that you will bother me with your questions and whining? No, I'm not going to question you, I just wanted to meet you. Well, no, in that case, I have determined that you leave me alone. Okay, as you wish. Brilliant. I'm gonna give him this. There is a lot of people to talk to. Yeah, there's a lot of people to talk to. There's a lot more content here. Like, I'm not gonna go through all of it, but it's pretty cool that there is there's stuff here. Look at this. We've got the boys. Hell yeah. I've got to give credit where it's due. Even though the dialogue is linear and it just repeats each time you initiate the conversation again, at least each conversation is unique and kind of funny. Although I do have to say that we play as a bit of a flirt because with pretty much every woman, my guy fails tragically to try and get a number. I guess we've got the bald, but we don't have the bankrupt. Now there is one other carriage you can visit and it's the restaurant, and to get there you just need to go down this carriage, sign a form which takes no effort, and there you go, you got yourself some more content, but I wasn't really prepared for the class issue ahead of me. Hell yeah, look at this! Wow, it's gourmet food! Okay, let's get some food. Can I speak to food seller? Okay. Did you want something? Oh, how delicious. This all looks... I'd love to buy something. Oh, sorry, but unfortunately today our entire range is sold out. You're a little too late. You see, dear passenger, we have special rules in the dining car. We try to treat only the most worthy guests, and you, I'm afraid, do not meet our high standards. High standards! High standards! There's not too much to say here besides the staff really didn't want me to eat their gourmet food. In fact, one of them just wouldn't stop giving me excuses in probably the longest chain of dialogue so far. Speaking as a British person, I've never had to say "oh sorry" that many times. Anyway, this carriage does provide some entertainment. I mean, again, it's just really speaking to people. I feel like the main reason as to why you couldn't actually get any food is because that would require some more development. But the sad part about all of this is that after each stop, you just repeat the process. You have to find the key again, sign the form again, and that's it. No progression, changing character positions, or any kind of side quest. This already feels like a pretty decent canvas for something bigger, but they just never took it any further. So after some repetition, I was just excited to get to the final destination and see something new. Well, I almost fell asleep, but we're here. We arrived. This is the place. I mean, it looks unique. You got this. It's pretty cool. Take a picture of that. It's nice. Get to the hotel. Okay, so this goes on for a little bit longer then. So where would the hotel? The hotel will be near the station, ideally, right? That's usually where the hotels are. Oh, it's there. That's the hotel. Right there. Cool. Let's go. Let's get in. Hell yeah. You've reached the hotel. The trip is over. Congratulations. No! Show me the hotel. That can't be the end of it. Oh my god, man. Oh, Christ. There's no chapters or anything. That's it. That was the game. Oh, I just got beat, man. I just got beat to death with that shit. This was so close to being decent. It's like the dev finally caught the ball and then just dropped it because why bother? When I cover something, I look for the intention behind the game and by extension, the developer. Some people mean well, but just aren't there yet. But with all the blatant copy and paste, the most low effort DLC, the 2 hours and 20 minutes sat there on a train just waiting to get to the content and an almost saving grace. This portfolio serves as an example of taking the path of least resistance, to only seek the reward and not be there for the love of the craft. But at the end of the day, anything's better than taking the train in the UK. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this totally pointless journey through a random dev's portfolio. It's been one hell of a ride, literally. Of course, a special thanks to all my supporters, both here and on Patreon. You guys helped me to go a little less insane when diving the abyss for content. And to sign off, a massive shout out to all of my Wicked Slayers and Cyber Wizards. Gibbles by the dozen, the Cuddly Bot, Negadan, the one with severed toes, Abby, the Meatly, Video Gamist, Basto, Spooky, Arcadius, Adam, Times Twice, Scotched Eggs, Big Ram, Grimber, Ninja Cat 8, LetterOpener.mp3, Edric11, Julie, Borky, Chris Blaga, and Callum. And I'll see you guys in the next one where I probably play more wacky games.